6:38 p.m. First order of business, I'd like to do a roll call.
Hagfors?
Here.
Kramer?
Here.
Niskelly?
Here.
Azar?
Here.
Councilman Polka?
Here.
And Vice Chair Showalter.
Here. Okay, great. Next, looking to approve the agenda.
Do we need to make a motion to,
I'd like to make a,
absences?
thank you. I'd like to make a motion to excuse the absences of Chair Foster, Commissioner Brazen, and Commissioner Sue Bakatani.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion from Haxford and support by Kramer. All of those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion passes. Now I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda. And do we have one new business item for a site plan review, site plan approval, and does anyone have any notes on the agenda or want to make a motion?
I'll motion the agenda.
Support.
A motion by Hagfors, support by Moshelli. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now let's go on to the meeting minutes from the last meeting. I believe that was February 21st. And there was one, Christine made wanted to correct on the record where the final vote tally was listed as ayes all, nays none, abstain 700. Instead, it should read ayes all, nays none, abstain none. And so there was no one abstained from the vote, and it was passed 700.
Move to accept the minutes as amended.
Support.
Okay, thank you. Moshelli made the motion, Polka support. And does anyone have any other changes or want to make a motion to approve?
I move to approve the minutes from February 21st as amended. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we just?
We
I think we just did that.
All right.
Oh, I thought we made, I didn't know we approved.
We approved it with
the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you already approved it with it, so, okay.
Yeah, well, we made the motion and seconded with the,
All right.
I thought you were approving,
Modifications.
I thought you were approving the modification of the agenda.
no, I think the,
All right.
Approving the minutes with
No worries.
with, yeah, approving the minutes
This
with
is-
the
I
amendment.
don't
Nope,
normally
you're
do
you're
that.
fine, you're
I'm
fine.
just the
Recall my
vice-
motion.
You're good.
So,
I'm recalling my motion then.
okay, yeah, well, recall that. So, now let's do the call to audience.
No, we have to vote.
Yeah, approve it.
Oh. Okay, I'm all out
worries.
of it right now.
Ask all of us if we want to.
Okay, all those in favor,
Aye.
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 opposed? Okay, now let's move on to the call to audience. This is time for anyone in the audience to address the planning commission on any topic on tonight's agenda. If anyone in the audience is here to speak on an issue not on the agenda, this is your time to do so. Please approach the podium, state your name for the record, and direct your comments to the planning commission. And you have 3 minutes to speak. I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:41 p.m. Not seeing anyone, I'm going to close the public, I'm going to close the call to audience at 6:42. Okay. Now we are moving on to new business. So we have a consideration of the site plan application at 1120 East 9 Mile Road. We'll begin with the introduction by our city staff, then the applicant will share information about the project. We'll then have time for the public to ask questions or make comments on this project before the planning commission does the same. So, Kyle?
Good evening, planning commissioners. I hope you're all doing swell tonight. So before you, we have a site plan for a mixed-use primarily residential developments at 1120 East 9 Mile Road. I'll scroll down here to show the existing conditions of the site. So this is located on the southeast corner of East 9 Mile and Bonner. So this street that doesn't have the road name on it is Bonner. There is an existing house, single-family house with a detached garage in the back. To orient you, the vet clinic is to the right, abutting the property. Garden Fresh is the next property. Across from Bonner is the Eastern Fire Department. So if you'll notice, we have the house in the garage, some yard space to the west, and you can see it pretty clearly on this aerial that there is a public alley here in the southwest corner of the site. This alley is unimproved, like a lot around the city, but it is used to access the garage for this second house off of East Troy. So this whole area is zoned C2, general commercial. Surprisingly, even the houses there in the photo, so they're non-conforming residential. I would also like to point out that while we have a sidewalk on 9 Mile, there is no existing sidewalk on Bonner here at the moment. So scrolling back up to, I guess, the rest of the request notes, it's a mixed-use building with about 1,500 square feet of residential, or 1,500 square feet of ground level retail. So that's located along the Bonner and the 9 Mile portions. There's some outdoor amenity space, you know, for bicycle racks and a seating area and some outdoor patio space there. But the rest of the project is 19 units of residential, varying sizes and unit counts. So we do have 10 one-bedrooms to 9 bedrooms. So it is a little bit bigger than some of the other projects where it's a lot of studios and one-bedrooms. The other big thing to note here is that we saw this exact same plan at the March 17th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. This was before my time at the city. The site plan did expire, and really that's why we're here tonight. So currently our ordinance does not have a mechanism to request a site plan extension, which is interesting. A lot of other communities have that. We actually have that for special land uses, but for just straight site plans like this, there's really no way to extend it. And, you know, it has been a very difficult time for development. So they're back at it for another crack, and then they'll have another 2 years to commence construction. So here is the overall site plan. This doesn't show the entire parking lot because some of it is located underneath the building, but this gives you a sense of the scale of the site. So it's really going to activate the whole frontage of 9 Mile, really building out into that vacant grass spot to the west of the property. We have the dumpster off the rear for the pickup to the off of Bonner. People will be using the public alley to access the site. So they're going to pull in and then drive around the dumpster area and then park. They have included a sidewalk on the west side along Bonner, which I'm pretty pleased about. That is to access the retail on the west side, but it is useful sidewalk infill. We do have a lower level plan here, so there's a bicycle storage room, so they're meeting a lot of our requirements, which I'll run through, but just to note, it is shown here, there's a lower level bike storage room that's accessed by stairs and an elevator. Here's the main level plan, so this is actually showing those parking spaces. So what has changed since last time? Last time, I think it was approved with a ADA access that was smaller than required. So this is the full 8 foot, which is the ADA requirement. Because it is a little bit bigger, we had to do some shifting with the parking. We were able to squeeze in another spot on the east side of the stairwell over here. I think that was really it. And then we added some screening to screen the parking spot as required. But other than that, I mean, our ordinance really, truthfully, has not changed too much since 2021. I think they did remove some visible CMU and replace it with brick veneer. Other than that, it's pretty much the same from what we saw. I'd be happy to scroll through the rest of these. We have a second floor plan, so we're seeing some of these 1 and 2 bedroom units. Third level is pretty similar. And then the fourth level, a little bit of a different design. And then we do have a loft level. So some of those fourth floor units are loft levels, and they have some outdoor patio areas. Elevations are pretty unchanged since the last time around. I think they've noted some areas where they replaced the CMU just to avoid a waiver with more of that brick veneer. In terms of landscaping, they are compliant. They're putting in the the trees and the that are required by the green belt, as well as the parking. Photometric plan is pretty nice, so it does conform to the requirements of our ordinance. In terms of renderings, I've attached those, and they're up on the screen, so you can see the activated 9-mile space. You see our lovely fire hall here in the distance. And then we have our bike racks, the seating area. Here's another view. This is going eastbound. In terms of conditions, we didn't really have much. They have to comply with all the building, engineering, and fire codes, the long-term stormwater maintenance agreement, which is of course going to be required for a brand new project like this. And a few of those trees are on the right of way, so they will have to go through DPW and get a tree permit for that. That is all I have. So if it's okay with you, Vice Chair, I'd like to invite up the applicants, say a few words. We can take it from there.
Thank you, Kyle. Brian Howard with HF Architecture. And as Kyle stated, we were in front of you a couple years ago. But with the economy, with development issues, with construction issues, costs, things like that, the project never came together. My client is very excited about now putting this together. One, costs have come down slightly. They're now, because these are larger units, the idea now is to actually sell these units and not rent them. The original idea was to rent them. But because of the size, as Kyle stated, they're not studios, they're not one bedrooms, they're larger units. And we really feel with where we're located, it's a great opportunity for us to go condos with these. And so that's kind of why the excitement is now perked back up again. And my client's super excited about this because of the fact that now you get some of that momentum. You get some of that marketing momentum, and you get the ability to really make a really substantial project and a beautiful looking project, and we're super excited. So again, I'll answer any questions you have. Kyle pretty much summed it up though, so thank you.
Okay, does anyone from the audience have any comments or would like to address the project? Not seeing any interest, I'd like to close the public comment on this project. Anyone from the Planning Commission?
Through the chair. Yeah, as usual, my conversations are revolving around utilities. Where are utilities going to be coming in, and where are the meters and all of that going to be positioned?
Yeah, how do I move this thing? I can show you exactly where they are. Just go to, just scroll up.
Yeah, so you can
Okay,
scroll up
gotcha.
and then
Okay. So if you notice on this plan right here, over near, and I'm sorry, but I had eye surgery a couple months ago and I'm struggling here. But if you notice where the mechanical electrical room is on
Must
Bonner,
have missed that.
there's also an area there which is a bank which is going to be hidden from Bonner with a screen wall, which is where the gas meters and electrical meters will be located. There's a note there that says that.
Okay. And they're going to be located on the inside of the wall, not facing Bonner?
Yes, correct.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Through the chair, how many retail spaces do they see might fill in the lower level?
The plan right now, it's designed to have 3. So we put a couple, if you notice in that longer bank there, there's numerous door entrances, both from the parking level, or parking area and also from 9 Mile. The idea is that could be split in half. So you would have like 500, 400 and some change per retail, and then you have the L-shaped, which would just be one retail, which I think is 675, I believe. So the plan is to create flexibility there. If one person wants to take that whole long sliver, they can. We're hoping retail there. We're a little concerned about the fact that there's no street parking. And so we've allowed for parking in the parking lot to be able to access the retail space. It may be a bit of a struggle to get retail to work there. You know, the plan or the hope was that maybe we could, and again, I don't know how the bike lanes are all working and all that stuff, but ideally, it would be great if we could create some parallel parking on 9 Mile, because we have such a large green belt there, and we have a large area of front yard setback. As you can see that the amount of distance that we have, whoops, sorry. Well, that I guess helps. Huge amount of grass area that could potentially, if we did pull that in, then could we then create some parallel spots along there to alleviate. I don't know if that's an option or not. It's been up for discussion. We've talked about it, but we really haven't pursued it with DPW, or if that's even Oakland County, I don't know. But that would be our plan, is to at least look at it and try and see if we can make that work. It is you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the city.
Otherwise, it'd be nice office space, you know, if retail can't work there. So it was really an opportunity for us to give some sort of ground floor. It's obviously required in the mixed use, but I think we have some flexibility in terms of what can go in there and what can work there.
Through the chair, on the topic of the retail space. So one of the things that kind of changes the project a little bit for me is the idea that you guys are going condo. So who's going to be managing the retail spaces? Are they going to be rentals? Are they going to sell them as retail space and sell them off like condos are?
I don't know the answer to that. My client and ownership's not here tonight, but my guess is that it would probably be rentable space on that main floor, retail and or office, whatever it ends up. And they'll have a management company in charge of the association, things like that. So my thought is, or my idea right now, and I can communicate this back to the owners, is probably not selling off that. But again, I'm not throwing the money at it, so.
Through the chair, on the topic of retail, it seems to satisfy that you've got a front door presence. We always prefer to see the street side used instead of everyone sent through the back. So I think from the site plan, it looks like there's a patio or paved area to approach those doors, and the one unit off of Bonner. I think if we're providing a new sidewalk, then that seems appropriate for a front door on Bonner, so.
Yeah, we really did look at, it being retail, some sort of a cafe or coffee shop or something like that, that people would want to sit outside and because you're so far back off of 9 Mile, you're not going to really feel 9 Mile, I don't believe, you know, with the traffic speeds and things like that. So that was the notion, and that was the idea, was to create a patio. And it also becomes a nice entry, people walking from the neighborhood. It's a nice presentation to the retail space.
All the comments I had.
Have the site plan review comments been addressed that we're talking about the storm sewer in the rear yard being, having an invert that may conflict with the screen wall? Have the city's site plan review comments been addressed yet?
So probably, I mean, typically where this would go is obviously now we get approval tonight, we start kicking into civil drawings and all those civil engineering stuff, which is the stormwater, calculations, detention, all that stuff. I don't remember seeing the screen wall comment.
It said the existing storm sewer traversing the rear yard is plus or minus 5.5 deep. To invert
Oh, I
this
do
may
remember that.
be in conflict with the screen wall and trash enclosure foundations.
Yeah, I do remember that now. It's because I think there's an easement there. There's where that sanitary line is running is very close to that back property line or the south property line, from what I remember. So our idea there is that screen wall is going to be a series of posts. So I think we can work around whatever that sewer line or that sanitary line, wherever we happen to be with that. If it's 5.5 feet down, we only have to be 42 inches down for any, frost and things like that. So we shouldn't be into that.
Okay,
Line.
I just want to make sure that it remains a masonry enclosure instead
Sure.
of going into a.
It's not going to go to vinyl or anything
Okay.
like that. No,
Okay.
it will not.
Any other comments? Do we have a motion?
Sorry, through the chair, we didn't make any modifications to the findings or conditions that were offered in the staff report, correct? I didn't think so, based on all these conversations. Based on that, then in the matter of 1120 East 9 Mile Road, Sidwell number 24-25-35-102-013, the Planning Commission approved the site plan based on plans dated March 6, 2024, with the following findings and subject to the following conditions listed within the staff report.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Polika and a second and a support from Commissioner Azar. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Okay, not seeing a motion. Roll call vote?
Michelli,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Hagfors,
Yes.
Councilman Polika,
Yes.
Azar,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Showalter.
Yes.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna get this going. We'll be in front of you again.
I was gonna say, we don't see you in 2 years asking for a reapproval.
You won't see me in 2 years.
Maintain that landscaping until then, though, please.
Yes,
Pass it on to him.
I will.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
We have any administrative commission or administrative items?
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. I have one administrative item, which is to promote a community-wide grant that we are partnering with the DDA on. So this is called the Match on Main program, and it is through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So Ferndale qualifies for this grant because we are redevelopment ready communities certified, and then we're also a Michigan Main Street community. So the way this grant works is it is a reimbursement grant program. So a business applies through the city, and then we take that application and we apply directly on their behalf to the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. The business goes through their project, and then they get reimbursed. So just kind of wanted to put that out there. It is currently posted on our Facebook page. So currently we have an interest form out. This is not the official application. So that was posted on Monday, and the deadline for submission for the interest form is Monday, March 25th at midnight. So just want to put that out there. So thanks.
Through the chair, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Is there a particular project that you get reimbursed for? Is it starting a new business? Is it facade improvements? What's the actual grant that people can apply for?
Of course, yes. Good question. So it is for any project that helps with placemaking. So it could be a facade improvement, it could be an outdoor patio, it could be interior renovations, and it's any business within the city. It doesn't have to be located within a certain district, like the DDA or anything. So, yeah, we're really, there's a lot of options out there. So we are excited to see what comes in.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have another administrative item update. So this is about the zoning ordinance rewrite, which is ongoing. So there's been a lot of back and forth between us and the consultant. We've been running through some of the changes. Last time we were here, we had a brief discussion, so we gave some of that feedback to the consultant. I'm hoping to have a draft next week, and then we're going to vet that, and then we will be bringing it forward. We are shooting for some time in April to bring it back here to do the heavy work around and discussion. So as a reminder, when we bring it back here, that's when it's going to be kind of out for the public review. So it'll be on zoneferndale.com. We've also been in talks with our communications department, so we want to create a landing page on the website and push it out on Facebook just to spread the word and raise awareness, especially while we're in the phase where we're talking about it here in the public forum for any available input. So I would say stay tuned, and we're going to see some really exciting stuff very shortly.
Thank you. Do we have any commission items? Okay, well, in that case, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 7:05 PM.
I like